Thank you, President. And I'm pleased to put this motion in my name, but I'm also sad that we need to put this motion up. And this motion goes to acknowledging that today is Sorry Day, and that today is the day that we remember and recognise that our Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander brothers and sisters were forcibly removed from their families and communities in what was called the Stolen Generation. And we say that it started in the 1800s, and we say that it finished in the 1970s. But we say that. It's not true. It still happens. In Victoria, Aboriginal children are 10 times more likely to be removed from their families. And we can't change this without accepting the truth of history. And this is what Sorry Day is about. It's accepting that truth. It's acknowledging that truth. It's then reminding us to remember those historical injustices, those injustices that still press and scar trauma into generations existing today but probably to come. Aboriginal people still die in custody. Aboriginal people are still far more likely to be jailed in this state. And I think despite what we talk about treaty, when you look at some of our criminal justice system and the way that it so unfairly and discriminates against people, and Aboriginal people in particular, we only have to look at our bail laws to see the injustice, where the onus of proof is put there, and that this has kept particularly Aboriginal women jailed. I'd like to think that there are some areas that we are trying to change this, and I was very pleased with other members in this chamber to have been part of the Spent Convictions inquiry, part of Spent Convictions bills that led to the Spent Convictions legislation in here, and I acknowledge the really fierce and proud work and strong work that Wardungan did for that helped us acknowledge that we need to change. We need to change what we're doing, because if we don't, we are going to continue to impress trauma upon people. I'd like to acknowledge Uncle Jack Charles today for also working so hard and being such a strong voice in this area. And I'd just like to make a quick note about a woman, and I think this just really clarifies it for me, a woman that we're helping in my electorate office, and I'll call her Rosie. We're trying to find her housing so she can see her children. She can't complete the requirements of the reunification order to see her children because she cannot find adequate housing near her children. Rosie's from Bendigo. Her children were taken into the care of a family member in Melbourne. In order to satisfy the reunification order, she must see her children multiple times a week, including picking them up from school and organising dinner. Absolutely right. And we should be doing everything we can to enable Rosie to do that. But right now, we can't find Rosie a home so that she can be reunited with her children. And we've raised this with the Minister, we've raised this with the Department, and I think on a day like today, it just further hits home the work that we've got to do, even though we're in our 23rd year of Sorry Day, even though it's been 24 years since the Bringing Them Home report was first published. We're still nowhere near where we should be. And I don't think on a day like today, and I promise not to sing, but that I reflect on no, I promised the staff in my office that I would not sing. But this story's right. This story's true. We would not tell lies, like the promises they did not keep, and how they fenced us in like sheep, told us to come take our hand, said to us, come take our hand, sent us on mission land, taught us to read, to write and pray, then took our children away. I'm sorry, and I hope that we can change things in a far more expeditious way than we have for the last 2 decades. We can do better. We must do better. We must recognise the past. We must own up to it, live it, and make it, and act on it, instead of what I feel is a lot of talking, a lot of reports, but not the action that is required to change, to make the change that we so desperately need to do.